When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for.
Every child has the right to be born well. Every child has the right to a wholesome family life. Every child has the right to be raised well and become contributing members of society. Good day to all of you. My name is Desiree Gonzalez Costello of BE Ed 1E, reporting Rizal's Life and Works. June 19, 1861, Wednesday, in Calamba, Laguna, a baby boy was born and named it Jose Pepe. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda, of his mother, Doña Chodora. His parents are Mr. Francisco Mercado and Mrs. Chodora Alonso. Don Francisco Engracio Rizal Mercado y Alejandro II was born on May 11, 1818 at Biñan, Laguna. He was the youngest of Cirila Alejandro and Juan Mercado. He was one of the fourth generations of a Chinese immigrant in the late 1600s named Domingo Lam. Pepe regarded him as model of father. He was a tenant and also a landowner of the Dominican estate in Calamba, Laguna. He died on January 5, 1898 at the house of his daughter Narcisa shortly after the execution of his son Jose. Doña Chodora Alonso Realonda. Chodora Morales Alonso Realonda y Quintos. She was born on November 9, 1827. Rizal's first teacher, second child of Lorenzo Alonso and Brigida de Quintos, went to College of Santa Rosa. The Mercado family. Trivia about family of Rizal. Family Rizal's real name or real last name is Mercado, which used in 1731 by Mr. Domingo Lamco, Dr. Jose P. Rizal's father ancestor. Dr. Jose P. Rizal's siblings are Saturnina Rizal, Pasiano Rizal, Narcisa Rizal, Olympia Rizal, Lucia Rizal, Maria Rizal, Concepcion Rizal, Josepa Rizal, Trinidad Rizal, and Soledad Rizal. Don Francisco Engracio Rizal Mercado y Alejandro II, Chodora Alonso Realonda. The Rizal's life or family. Family belongs in a principalia or is known family in Calamba. His father rented the land 600 hectares. Aside from farming, they are also poultry business. Doña Chodora has a sari-sari store in their house. They also has a carriage. A library in their house consisting of 1,000 books. The Rizal's house. Rizal's house was built in stone and solid wood. Stands near the church of Calamba. The house was surrounded with fruit trees. The garden has chickens and turkey. At the age of 3, he started to study the avocado. He likes to read and listen while his siblings are talking. He loves to paint, write, and do sculpture. He is competent in writing. At the age of 8, he wrote his first poem entitled Sa Aking Mga Kababata, which he dedicated to all the Filipino children. He also wrote a comedy and was played on one of the town fiesta in Calamba. The governor of Paete liked it and paid the manuscripts up 2 pesos. The story of Gamu-Gamo or Moth brought good memories in his mind. It was started when one night Donna Chodora teaches him how to read an old book entitled El Amigo de los Niños. It saw his lack of interest in reading, so she decided to tell Dr. Giuseppe Rizal the story of the moth. Doña Chodora was his first teacher. Other teacher, Mr. Celestino and Mr. Lucas Padua. Mr. Leon Monroy, best friend of Dr. Jose Rizal's father, taught him Spanish and Latin. February 17, 1872, he witnessed the execution of the Gumbursa, the 3 martyred priests, Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora. At the age of 11, he used to study in Ateneo de Manila. At first, he wasn't accepted to study in there for some reasons, but still, he was granted to study in there by the help of a known priest and Jesuits. First year in college, 1872 to 1873. He heard Mass on the first day of classes for success and guidance. His classmates were Peninsulars, Spaniards, Insulars, Mestizos, and natives. His crude knowledge of Spanish was a source of ridicule from his classmates, so he took private lessons in Santa Isabel College during break time. Second year, 1873 to 1874. June 1872, first day of class in Ateneo. The second year in Ateneo, 1873 to 1874, he repented having neglected his studies the previous year because he was offended by the teacher's remarks. Rizal studied harder, and once more, he became the emperor after losing his class leadership. He had classmates from Binyan who had also been his classmates in the school of Maestro Juan Tan. At the end of the school year, he received excellent grades in all subjects and a gold medal. (1875 to 1876). Rizal did not make an excellent showing in his studies as in the previous year. It was when he was in third year at the Ateneo de Manila. His grades remained in all subjects, but he won only one medal in Latin. He failed to win the medal in Spanish because his spoken Spanish was not fluently sonorous and was beaten by a Spaniard who could naturally speak fluently and with right accentuation. 1877 or 1876 to 1877, the last year. In Ateneo, June 1876, last year of Rizal in Ateneo, he was truly the pride of the Jesuits. Obtained highest grades in all subjects. Graduation with highest honors. Excellent scholastic records from 1872 to 1877. March 23, 1877, commencement date. Received the degree of Bachelor of Arts with highest honors. University of Santo Tomas. He take medicine course in this university. Pass course of surveyor at the age of 16. After that, he wrote Sa Aking Inspirasyon, which was dedicated to his mother. While studying in UST, he saw a respected rate for Filipino students there. He was dismayed and decided to study abroad. His decision intensified when a guard or civil guard beats him after he forgot to honor them. He pleaded General Primo about what happened, but the latter didn't care at all. May 3, 1880, out of his parent consent, he left the country to go to Spain. He used Jose Mercado as his name. There, he pursued his study in medicine by the help of Mr. Pasiano and Mr. Antonio Rivera. He had experienced hardship and grief there. June 21, 1884, he finished his study in there but wasn't had his diploma or license for some reasons. Year 1885, he finished his philosophy course at the same school. After that, he went to Paris in Germany to be competent in ophthalmology. Ophthalmology is a study of medical conditions relating to the eye. And learn a lot from Dr. Louis Wecker. Work in hospital in Heidelberg by Dr. Otto Becker. Management by Otto Becker. Year 1886 at Berlin, Alemania. He was accepted there by the Scientifico Circulo or Scientific Circle. Unified knowledge in ophthalmology with the help of his friends. He lived there in poverty. He was hungry, got sick, but it did not hinder to publish his novel. His first novel is Noli Me Tangere, on February 21, 1887, a novel which Dr. Rizal has written during the colonization of the Philippines by the Spanish Empire to describe recurred inequities of the Spanish Catholic friars and the ruling government. Noli me tangere, touch me not, is the Latin version of the phrase spoken according to John 20 verse 17 by Jesus to Mary Magdalene when she recognized him after his resurrection. In 1889 at Paris, Rizal arrived at Paris from London, which he spent a few days confronting the proofs of Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas with the things from the original book in the British Museum. He resided at 45 Rue de Montberg and attended to the finishing touches of his annotations. In 1890, Rizal, 29, left Paris for Brussels as he was preparing for the publication of his annotations of Antonio de Morga, Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, 1609. After that, in 1891, he left Europe to travel to Hong Kong to be nearer to his family in the Philippines while leading the propaganda movement. Finally, a sequel, El Filibusterismo, The Reign of the Greed, established his reputation as the leading spokesman of Philippine reform. It was his second book. The novel reveals the relationships of a powerful, corrupted ruling clergy in the Philippines in the late 1800s and a conquered people trap. It was dedicated to the three priests Gombursa, whom executed because of their supposed participation in the first revolutionary campaign of modern Philippine nationalism, the Mutiny of Cavite. In 1892, Dr. Jose P. Rizal returned to the Philippines. He founded a non-violent reform society, the Liga Filipina, in Manila and was deported to Dapitan in northwest Mindanao. He remained exiled for the next 4 years. This 4-year interregnum in his life was tediously and exciting, but was abundantly fruitful with varied achievements. Rizal lived a pretty simple life during his banishment. He built an informal school where he taught several children. He had also patients who went looking for him to get healed. He also fond of doing agricultural pursuits, and there he met his beloved. His beloved, Miss Josephine Bracken. Miss Josephine Bracken, who had accompanied a blind patient to his clinic. Josephine Bracken and Rizal lived together as husband and wife in Barangay Talisay, Dapitan, beginning in July 1895. Actually, the story of their love started when they saw each other when Dr. Rizal and she met on the undefeated. They fell in love with each other. They had decided to get married, but were rejected by the priest because the priest wanted Dr. Rizal to repent first on their charge. But as we know, Dr. Rizal didn't want to get in that charge, so they assumed that he wasn't repenting or he wasn't repent. So they have done nothing about it. They just swore to each other as if they were married and they lived together. Josephine got pregnant, but due to some conflicts, she gave birth prematurely to a baby boy and the baby died. The couple had a son in Dapitan, a baby boy, Francisco Rizal E. Bracken. In 1896, the Katipunan, a Filipino nationalist secret society, revolted against Spain. After this, Dr. Rizal's letter and request in Spain has a fulfillment. He is just leaving when suddenly the decision of his superior had changed and ordered to arrest him. The time when he was arrested, he was in prison being investigated and sentenced to death. He was sentenced to death by firing squad. He was shot without turning his back, but he forced himself to turn forward to show that he didn't betray his own people and country. Exact date of his execution was on December 30, 1896. Although the mention of the type of the gun used for his execution is not clear, there are source files and documents tells Spanish used Moser rifles on firing. Though his life ends at this very point, he remains and will remain alive because of his heroism. He will always be our national hero.